Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 12 Reunion Part 3. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Listen, y'all, I am just now getting a burst of energy, just a little bit. I have been feeling so under the weather, so that's why my review is late. If you listen or watch my Love and Marriage Huntsville reviews, child, that'll be out sometime this week. I'm just trying to catch up and sit upright for more than 5 minutes. So, child, let's get into it. When the episode first opens up, Andy starts off with the ladies talking about their sex life. So, of course, he goes to Erica Jane, and she's like, yeah, I got some last night. You got to have like a roster. It's like a team. Girl, anywho, I'm not believing you flip-flopping me in and out that bed, girl. Goodbye. So she said, you know, it's a relief that somebody can keep it up the whole time. She said stay hard the whole time. And I was thinking to myself, girl, TMI. But y'all know what I noticed about Erica? I think Erica says and does things for shock value. She's really a very insecure lady at the core of her, because I watched her in contrast to BravoCon. At BravoCon, there was a whole big segment where they brought out the shadiest housewives. So it was Erica's turn. The spotlight was on her. This is when the whole thing blew up about PK and Dorit being the possible next ones to break up. I think she said that to be safe, because really she's a coward. So they asked the question and the spotlight went to Erica, and she just sat there. And then I guess she remembered that everyone thinks she's Billy Badass. So girl, get on up and say what you're going to say and get into it as you get into it. So she gets up, she goes to the center of the stage, PK and Dorit, and turns around and goes and have a seat. I'm like, Erica, girl, goodbye. Honey, you said that because you know Dorit is your friend and you can put fear in Dorit's heart, but the rest of these heifers will eat you up and chew you and spit you out. So you already know. So you're just trying to make sure you play it safe. And I don't know why PK didn't pick up on that. Like them robbers picked up their cell phone and left it at the gate and don't think I forgot. Chinese people crazy. So Andy asked how she felt looking at the package. She was like, it makes me say, who is that? You know, I felt like I was numbing the pain. So he asked Garcelle when she started to be concerned about Erica's drinking. She said not until the incident with Jax, she didn't really realize how bad it was until she watched the episode. Now, y'all already know how I feel about it. I feel like Erica was just faking drunk, and then they picked it up, and then she had to continue on with the foolishness, but then she started to actually get inebriated, so much so that she was losing her damn mind, and that's what happens. So Garcelle wants to know, why out of all people, why him? Out of everybody, why did you pick on him in the party? Erica was like, well, I mean, it wasn't personal. It could have been anyone. And, you know, me being drunk, being stupid, you know, it just happened. It wasn't anger. It was coming from an irresponsible place. And I hear you, Erica, but I'm not hearing any apologies. Now, I know you gave a half-ass one when the season was on, but I really do feel like it would not have been anyone. You knew exactly what you were doing. So then Garcelle confronted Dorit about not saying anything. And she's like, I said, Erica. What's that gonna do? So then Andy brings up Kyle and Dorit laughing about it. So Kyle is trying to justify it by saying, you know, I never saw it, but when I saw it like Garcelle, I was mortified. Lies. Okay, lies. What does seeing it have to do with knowing that it's wrong? I don't have to see a person get unalived to know that it's wrong. I'm not going to sit up and say, she got unalived. That is hilarious. That is crazy. But then I see the unaliveness on TV and I'm like, oh, I'm mortified. I didn't realize how bad it was to unalive someone. Kyle is giving dum da dum dum dum. Girl, you act like you ain't got no sense, girl. What are you talking about? Then your stoner hubby said it was right. He said it was great. So y'all don't know right from wrong? Oh, you only know right from wrong when it comes to your children. Okay. The gist of it is, it was her child at the end of the day. And if it were Dorit, you would have been crying, running down to Dorit's home barefoot, trying to figure out what can you guys do? Because you can't believe that Garcelle would speak to your child that way. Dorit, you saw it. So what's your excuse? Oh, you ain't got one? Okay, I ain't think so. So Garcelle was like, listen, had I done that, it would have been a totally different story. So Kyle is like, no, I felt terrible. Yeah, you only felt terrible after social media tore you apart. Kyle really bugs me with all those empty apologies. Save it, Judy Jetson. Honey, we not buying it, okay? We not buying nothing you selling. So here go Dorit, putting on the Ritz. I said something to Erica. We went out later that night, and inside I felt like someone had stabbed me, had beaten me and bruised me, had cut me deep. Dorit, shut up. Dorit, shut it up, honey. You're faker than those 47 accents that you walk around interchanging. I don't want to hear nothing about it. She's like, so Kyle is like, well, I'm a mom first. Garcelle said, yes, but he's my kid. He's not yours. I know that's right. So here comes Dorit. I was disgusted. I felt like someone had stabbed me in the stomach. Dorit, and again, you can fool some of the people some of the time. You can fool some of the people with this robbery that you do. You can fool some of the people whenever you feel like it, but you ain't fooling me. Okay? You didn't feel disgusted. You didn't feel like it was not okay. You felt just like you felt when you were sitting with your husband, Mauricio and Kyle, and that was to chuckle it up. Because if it's not your baby, then you really don't care. You and all of the other heifers around you, y'all pride Erica on being this funny, cutthroat, no filter type of idiot. Y'all appreciate it. So I really don't want to hear anything you have to say. Andy said, well, Garcelle, did you feel complete after Erica Jane's apology? Child, I know I wouldn't have, because she didn't mean it. She just said it so they could move forward. So Garcelle said, well, you know, people in the group, they tend to hurry up and own it. So really you look crazy if you freak out after they've already apologized. So I just accepted it. But you didn't have to. It's your child. Let her have it. Because I'm telling you right now, you do something to cross me, I'm going to forgive you if and when I want to. Just because you say I'm sorry does not mean I have to accept, especially when it's someone that I gave birth to. So the fact that they just want to own it, shout out to Rina, that doesn't mean anything to me. You can own it, but at the same time, I don't have to accept your ownership. Moving forward. So then we move on to Erica Jane and her case, and Erica pulls out her BlackBerry, honey, 'cause that's exactly what it looked like. I said, girl, not a BlackBerry. Y'all remember them Blackberries? You had to be real important to have some money to have a BlackBerry, child. So she pulls out her BlackBerry with her notes to read that she was cleared of knowing what old Tom was doing at one of the, cases. Okay, girl. So she was like, actually Sutton was the first person to call and congratulate me. Here goes Sutton. And I mean it. Sutton, stop giving peak Misha vibes. Shout out to me. Why are you texting to congratulate her? She just gonna turn around and mistreat you next season. Oh, Sutton, you just never learn. So then he reads the facts about the case and asks her if she still feels there are no victims. And she said, there are none of mine. I shared no responsibility. Yes, Erica, but there are still victims nonetheless. Okay? Admitting that there are would not make you guilty. And I don't understand who is advising you, and I don't understand why you will not accept that. It doesn't make you guilty if you say, yeah, there are victims, and I feel bad for them. Who gonna be mad at you, Tom? I thought he couldn't remember who you were from day to day. Girl, goodbye. So Andy was like, well, it triggered the ladies, and she said, well, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do what's best for me. So they touch on Erica's ignorance and saying that she doesn't care about anyone but herself. So Dorit tells her it's the way that she says it. So she gives an analogy about a plane and you having to put the mask on yourself to save yourself first. And that's what she's doing. Now, Erica, why in the world would you give a plane analogy knowing that there was a crash involved with the said victims? Why would you do that? It's like you don't think. You don't use your thinker. You're just saying whatever. They need to stop putting so much hairspray in them faux ponytails, and then you would be able to think clearly. You're a 50-plus-year-old woman, girl. This is just disappointing. So she's like, yeah, I've been disappointed in my behavior all season. Here go Andy. You have? She's like, yes, Andy. Well, girl, he's just making sure, honey, because we just don't never know. She's like, I've been seeing a therapist. I'm sorry I don't buy anything Erica Jane says, so moving forward. So he asked the ladies if Erica was her own worst enemy, and Kyle piped up and she was like, yeah, because I thought Erica was going to wake up and be like, dang, what the hell did I say? And Erica's like, well, I needed you to be neutral in that moment. That's code for I needed you to blindly support me like you've been doing the past seasons and not let the people on the Twitter convince you to be actually human. Okay? Don't do it, Kyle. Don't do it. So Kyle is saying that she couldn't because of what Erica was saying. She was like, I was just speaking my truth. So Kyle goes, what I was doing was a normal reaction. Erica was like, no, it's not. It definitely is, but Erica can't handle anyone challenging her. That's the problem. You cannot challenge Erica. So Kyle said, do you realize the heat that we take being your friend? Kyle, just leave it alone, honey. It's falling on deaf ears. It's no reason to even repeat it. So then Andy asked why she kept the earrings. She said, but I gave them back. So then Andy goes, but you're trying to get them back, right? Yeah, we're on appeal for legal reasons. He said, oh, okay, so trying to get them back. We're on appeal for legal reasons. So basically what he said, honey, y'all saying the exact same thing. He's like, we're saying the same thing. We are, but we aren't. But we are. Okay, child. Ooh, honey. Then some person said that Erica deserves to keep the earrings. No, she does not. No, she doesn't. Those earrings were bought with other people's money. So she said she spoke to Tom a few weeks ago, and someone asked why she's still speaking to Tom. Humanity. Oh, okay. So what about the humanity when it comes to the people Tom allegedly stole from? Since you want to be absolved from all things foolishness, what about the people he stole from? I wouldn't speak to Tom if he turned my life upside down. Absolutely not. I would not. But maybe that's just me. Tom would get absolutely nothing from me. Every time he called me, he would immediately get my voicemail, which should let him know that he's blocked. Child, I wish I would. So then Andy brought up when Erica said that during the season, she visited her Pasadena house, and he asked if she missed it. She was like, well, they never heard me say, oh, my house this, oh, my earrings that. Maybe not directly, but you have been woe is me during this whole entire thing, which is why we keep asking, what about the victims? You have turned yourself into one big victim. Erica, I don't understand how you don't remember things. So she was like, at this point, I'm just fighting for myself. Okay. So Andy sees she's getting a little bit overwhelmed. She starts to get teary-eyed, so he moved forward. And I feel like Andy took notes about Erica from last season and decided to press a bit more this reunion. Because last reunion, he let her come out with the rehearsed answers and the pre-recorded questions, and she already knew what to expect. But this season seemed like he was really like, girl, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Moving forward. So, baby, they take a brief break, and Beverly Hills Barbie comes out, a.k.a. Miss Kathy Hilton. Kathy looked like she smelled rich. Baby, when she came out, I said, is that a whiff of money? Money. All I really want to see is the money. Child, she was smelling just like money. Shout out to Cardi B. So she comes out. She sits down. Kathy came out. She said, hi, girls. Baby, let's get into it. Child, they weren't expecting a greeting. Erica was over there pretending like she was on her cell phone. Child, that ain't gonna work. So Andy is trying to ease into it, right? By talking about her wearing slippers in the airport. So one viewer asked if she learned how to, DM Rick, her husband, on Instagram. And she was like, yeah. So Andy said, well, wouldn't it be easier for you to just text him? She said, I did text him, but... So Kyle said, but you were in the comment section as well. She thinks the comment section is texting and texting is the comment section. She ain't that crazy, honey. You are not that crazy to not know the difference between a text message and a comment section. So Kathy said, but then I pulled a Rina and deleted it 20 minutes later. Baby, Kathy trolling the girls already, honey. She is putting Rina on notice. Ma'am, I know your posting habits. I see you, Miss Post and Delete. I see you. We see each other. Baby, now on to the mess. Let's take a trip back to Aspen. So we revisit what Rina said, Kathy said. And Kathy was like, Rina, I want you to swear on a Bible while they're playing like the flashback. Child, you trying to turn the whole stage to ashes. Rina ain't never been that close to no Bible, honey. We do not need Rina putting her hand on anything that has to do with G-O-D. Like nothing. So Andy reads a comment that asks, why can't Kathy promote her tequila when we've seen the lip kit of it all? We've seen Kyle's movies. We've seen chic stuff from Jamie Lee Curtis. We've seen everything. But why can't Kathy talk about her tequila? So Kathy cleared some things up. She said she did, in fact, have her tequila on camera, but there were times that the camera didn't catch it. None of the times the camera caught it, honey. We wouldn't have known if you wouldn't have shown us this. Whoever the producers are, they are not your friends. Just so we're clear. And I'm thinking about it. So if you showed it as many times as they've just shown here, by the time they got to Aspen, they were sick of it. Now I understand. Maybe they were sick of it. So then Andy brings up when they went to Kemosabe. And she said, well, in Aspen, I was thinking, wow, Kyle is so sweet because the 4 bottles of tequila was there. So Andy was like, well, were you mad that Rena ordered Kendall's tequila? She was like, no, not at her, but I was angry at Kyle because she had it in her head that Kyle set up a tasting. Kathy, Kyle cannot make them drink anything that you have brought. Nothing. She can say, hey, let's try my sister's tequila, but we already know Kyle has no backbone. She would never want to upset the Fox 5-4 or the Force Be With You or whatever the hell these heifers call themselves. She would never want to upset the other 4. So, yeah, she's not going to make them do anything. You can lead a Rena to tequila, but you can't make her drink. Moving forward. So Rena was like, yeah, I've been very supportive of her tequila. You know, it was never my intention to upset her. I'm not buying it. Your sole intention was to upset her. You know exactly what you were doing. I've never seen you go to a place and just decide, hey, let me get my friend Kendall Jenner's tequila. Yeah, the 818, the 818. Yeah, let me have that one. Yeah, that sounds about right. Get out of here. So Kyle is crying. And she's like, so it's my fault? Oh, Kyle. And in all honesty, I don't think it's fair to put all this on Kyle. Now, I know we ain't feeling Kyle, honey. We feel a way about Kyle. But we have to be real about Kathy as well. Kathy, you were mad about Rena and you are switching to being mad about Kyle for some reason. I don't know, but you were in fact mad at Rena. Now you might have been mad at Kyle as well. Let me rephrase it. I'm sure you were mad at both Kyle and Rena. So I don't know why you're trying to make it seem like when Rena did that, nah, no big deal. We heard it. We heard. I don't know what it was, but we heard your voice mocking her ordering that tequila. So you were in fact upset. So Kathy is telling her, you know, it's nothing to cry about because Kyle's over there crying. But Kyle is like, yes, it is, because somehow I'm being blamed for this. So Andy goes, but you were mad at Rena, right? I know that's right, Andy, because it's like she trying to confuse us, honey. So Kathy was like, well, I mean, it annoyed me, but I don't think she did it on purpose. Well, it looked on purpose to me. Because why would you order it when you say there were 4 bottles of yours there? So either they don't like yours or she did it on purpose. So then Andy asks Kathy what happened that night at the club. So here we go. Kathy gives the recap of what happened. She wanted to hear a song. The DJ wouldn't play said song. She asked if she could give the DJ money. He said, no, it's too busy for all that. She's like, well, they've done it for me in the south of France, in Paris, in London. They've done it. If I give you the cash, the song will be played. He said, well, where are you from? She said, LA. He said, okay, well, then go back to LA. So what I think happened is Kathy felt like I'm the woman with the money. And normally when I flash a wad of cash, they do exactly what I say to do because money rules everything around me. But this particular DJ was like, no, I'm not going to play Billie Jean Is Not My Lover because you want to hear it right now. We're not about to do that. We got other things in rotation, so I'm not playing that song. She said that she went up to Kyle and she was like, we're out of here. And Kyle was like, well, no, I didn't go because it was the way that you were speaking to me. And again, y'all might not agree with me, but I can see Kathy speaking to Kyle some kind of way. It's almost like Kathy sees Kyle as a child, which she acts like she's one. And she's her mom. You know, Kathy's the oldest, so probably when their mother passed, Kathy took over and she still sees Kyle as a kid. And I'm telling you right now, I would leave with my sister, nonetheless. I would. But I would be sure to correct my sister and tell her, listen, girl, watch how you speak to me. I'm an adult. You can come over and tell me what happened, but you don't snap your fingers in a room full of my peers and say, let's go now. I am not your child. Okay? If you ever speak to me like that again, you will be hightailing it home by yourself. Whatever that means. So Kathy did actually acknowledge it. And she said she was sorry. She got out of her mind for a second. She didn't mean to do it. She said she wasn't proud of it. So Andy asked what they saw. So here go Erica. Well, so she pauses for a minute. So then she tells the story of Kathy coming up to her angry and spitting out a homophobic slur and then storming off. So Kathy said, well, I will admit to what I say, but I mean, I won't be painted out to be this monster. Okay, so this solidifies that Erica and Rina leaked things to the press. Because how did they get it? How did they get it? So Kathy said, you know, anyone that knows me knows that I don't speak like that. Erica said, well, I have nothing to lie about. Kathy is real comfortable or uncomfortable because, honey, she done pulled out her water bottle and everything. I said, girl, not you taking a refreshing beverage break. Ma'am, we don't drink during the reunion, honey. Put your bottle away. We don't drink during the union. So Kathy said, well, I mean, I have a little bit more credibility than you because I don't lie. I have a sterling reputation. Okay, pause. That's how I know Kathy lying about something. I don't know exactly what it is, but she lying about something. Maybe not this, but something. Because everybody has told a lie before. But she is more credible than Erica Jane. Don't get me wrong. But when people say, I don't lie. So you never, ever tell a lie. I'm not buying it. I don't trust nothing Erica Jane and Rina say after that whole book thing. The fact that Erica sat up there and took the blame for a book that Rina threw in the trash, that shows that they work together and they could be putting a little stank on it. I do believe Kathy said something. What it is, I'm not sure. But Kathy isn't all the way innocent either. All of them are lying. Erica's lying, Kathy's lying, and Rina is lying. So Andy was like, well, we've had it investigated. And Garcelle said, by who? He said HR. He said, and it came down to she said. Y'all investigate this, but Garcelle has to hire her own lawyers to get to the bottom of the racist bots attacking her child. Oh, okay. Also, let's not forget when Marlo said the word season 4 out loud. Nobody even peeped. Nobody sneezed or nothing. Child, I ain't gonna never forget that. That's what really had me looking at Marlo sideways. Because, girl, why are you saying that? Why are you calling them that? Like, and I ain't never forgot that. I also can't believe how comfortable Erica feels to say it in front of Andy. Erica, did you say it? Honey, I'm starting to think you said it. I'm starting to think you looked at the DJ and said, oh, he's just a F, and just decided that you were going to spin it, and now it's Kathy that said it. Because, like, where's the camera footage, honey? Where's the audio? So then Kathy switches it to Erica. She's like, yeah, I mean, it's funny that nobody is talking about all the stolen items that you wear. So Erica starts to explain herself and she's like, way to take the heat off of you. And I did feel in that moment Kathy was trying to deflect, if I'm really being real. I feel like Kathy was, like, let's talk about you. Let's get off of me. And because this has nothing to do with Erica right now. This has everything to do with what's going on in Aspen, even though I know you got the smoke for Erica because Erica's the one that's saying that you spit out this homophobic slur. So Rina was like, well, I mean, I offered to take her home because she was screaming and she was having a psychotic break. I had never seen anything or heard anything like that before in my life. Kathy was like, well, yes, I did vent because I felt like Rina was my friend. But Rina, do you remember saying, I get it. You're preaching to the choir. Do you remember that? Of course she doesn't. Of course not. So Rina is like, I don't exactly, but I remember I want to take down NBC Bravo, the show, Evolution. I'm going to get Kyle fired. I'm going to ruin Kyle if it's the last thing I do. So you can remember all that verbatim, but not what you said. Okay, girl. And this makes no sense to me. Why would she be venting to take down the network over the DJ not playing a song request? I'm not following this story. Are y'all following? Because I'm completely lost. Why on earth would she be venting about taking down NBC and Bravo and Evolution and Paramount and everybody else and their mama because the DJ would not play the song that she requested? So Andy reads some of the things that Rina claims that Kathy said. So as Andy is reading this, Kathy is like, Lisa, you will take a lie detector test. Oh, well, Rina called Quad and Anila over on Married to Medicine, honey. They got the hookup on the lie detector test. Child, call them Alphas. They got the hookup, honey. Not Kathy demanding that Rina take a lie detector test, honey. It ain't that serious. We don't really care, honey. We believe you, Kathy, honey. Even if we don't believe you, we still would ride with you over Rina. So no lie detector test needed. Moving forward. Kathy said something about Kyle. I agree. I think Kathy said something about Kyle during her vent session, but all the rest of it, I'm not really buying. At this point, it's just Kathy's word against Rina's for me. I don't believe anything coming out of Lisa's mouth because she is on a mission to take down Kathy. And it's been proven and we've seen it throughout the season. Lisa was like, well, I was on the other end of the abuse. Abuse? How was she abusing you by venting? So Kathy brings up the text. She's like, yeah, I don't have anything on my phone. Well, Kathy, we know you got about 15 phones, honey. So Kathy said the text was not on her phone. So Andy was like, well, Rina, let me see your text. So she shows the phone to Andy. Is Kathy's number at the top? Because I'm telling you right now, you can create an entire text thread. It's not necessarily meaning that that person is texting you. You can create text message threads. So Andy asked Rina to see it. She showed it. Rina said, yeah, I locked myself in the restroom because she was having that psychotic break. So where was Mauricio during this? Did he flee over to Diana Jenkins' place too? Honey, because you know she took in everybody else that trip. So, I mean, why didn't he hear the psychotic break? If she was stomping up and down on glasses, banging herself up against the wall, having a nervous breakdown, why didn't Mauricio get up? Oh, nothing? Oh, okay. So Kyle chimes in and she's like, well, my thing is, how did it make it to the press? So Erica said, well, I mean, my publicist is also Nikki's publicist, so I don't think that he would do that. So Andy was like, well, did a part of you want this to come out? He's asking Erica and Rina. Here go, Erica. I wanted it here because that's where the group is. Girl, quit lying. You stood with Dorit in that store saying you wanted Kathy exposed and confronted just like you've been. How quickly we forget. But honey, I didn't forget nothing. Okay? You know dang on well you wanted Kathy to go down. So Garcelle was like, it never stays with us. It always gets out to the social media. And Rina, it's you doing the most of it. You do the most of the social media mess. So Rina goes, no, there were 200 people in there. I got a call from TMZ. They already knew. Knew what? Because you claim the meltdown started in the Sprinter. Was TMZ at Kyle's house? Erica said, well, Kathy said it directly to me, so nobody else heard it. Oh, how convenient. How convenient that nobody else heard it. So where did they get that from? And also, I want to point out this. This story has changed 50 times, okay? First, it was the conga line. Then it was the racial slur. We ain't heard nothing about that since. What happened to that? Then the homophobic slur was supposedly for Sutton's assistant who wasn't even in Aspen. All y'all just go away. Every last one of y'all. Because this story has changed so much that now I can't even keep up with what's going on. Kyle's in the corner crying. Kyle, shut the hell up. I am confused. Okay? I'm confused. Rina, you and Erica told those people that story. Point blank and the period. Allegedly. So Kathy then brings up how she went to apologize to Kyle on camera, but Kyle wanted her to apologize to Rina. Yeah, I didn't understand that either. Like, what am I apologizing to this helper for? I ain't saying nothing about her. I was talking to her. And I do believe that Kathy was like, yeah, I understand ya. Preaching to the choir. Kathy said, you know, I feel like I could have called Rina, but she wanted it on camera because her contract was coming up. Baby, Kathy said she trying to save your diamond. Baby, Kathy is not to be played with. Oh my goodness, honey. Here go Garcelle. Woo! Honey, I know that's right, child. Garcelle was me this entire time, honey, getting her whole life happy. It ain't got nothing to do with her. So Kathy said, you ran off Lisa Vanderpump. You did terrible things to my sister, Camille Grammer. The list could go on and on. You're the biggest bully in Hollywood, and everyone knows it. Ooh, child. Lisa said, and you're sad. And then Kathy said, no, you're sad. So they're going back and forth and back, honey. Somebody bring out Kim and the bunny, honey, so we can get that single tear out of Rina. Because that's the only somebody that can get Rina together. So Rina sits back. She's like, you know what? It's between the two of you. So y'all are going to need to work it out. Yes, absolutely. So you need to stop instigating. You relish in the fact that their sisterhood is torn apart. You love it. Garcelle was like, well, why are you in it? Kathy said, well, why didn't you say this that night instead of saying it now? So Rina was like, I was scared. I was very scared. Girl, anyway. So Garcelle goes, if it's between them, then leave it there. So Rina goes, well, I felt attacked. I felt attacked. When she attacked me in Aspen, girl, attacked, you're reaching and accusing her of something very serious. Attacking you. You accuse someone of attacking you in a close. Rina is the most dangerous type of person you could ever encounter. Now, I just want y'all to listen to this. If we were not on a TV show and Rina was in a room with someone and she came out saying she was attacked, abused, battered, and there were no witnesses, and it was Rina's word versus that person could end up in some serious trouble. The things that you are saying, these loaded words, Rina needs to go. And, you know, at first I was like, well, you know, Rina got to go. But it's like the dynamic is already, Rina has to go. She is very, very dangerous. She got to go. So she's like, she abused me. Abuse doesn't have to be hitting. She yelled at me. Lisa, you have been a terror from the time you stepped on the scene. You accused Dorit of powdered sugar. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. You accuse Yolanda of Munchausen. You accuse LVP of all types of things. You broke glass and threatened Kim. So I don't care to hear anything from you. You are not shook because she yelled at you. And why is it she gets to say abused and nobody calls her out, but Crystal got crucified for using the word violated? That's what I want to know. So Andy goes, but you've yelled and screamed as well. Here she go. So, oh my gosh, she is so juvenile. So, that's what you have to say in response? So Andy said, well, she wants to let it go. They want to be sisters. So how do you let it go? Rena's like, right here and right now. I'm letting it go. Yeah, right. Kathy said, are you really letting it go? Rina said, yeah, I'm no longer gonna speak on it. So Andy asked why she would get in the middle of it. And she was like, because I was traumatized. He said, with everything on this show, this traumatized you? She's like, yeah, I mean, because we were in the dark. Oh my gosh, honey. So bring out Jamie Lee Curtis, honey, again, because we have another scream queen and Kathy is the big bad wolf. Rina, stop it. Okay? Please stop. She's like, I saw the devil. So Kyle is now hysterical by this point. She feels like she always gets the blame for everything in the family, even the tequila thing, and she didn't do anything. That's the problem, Kyle. She feels like you didn't have her back. You didn't do anything. You got with your friends and started acting brand new. Because let's not forget how you were acting before we even got to Kemosabe. You have been nitpicking and showing out in front of them since the beginning of the trip. So we're not just going to act like you didn't do anything. And Kyle is so afraid of Kathy being mad at her. And I feel like Kathy has another side to her because I've read some things about Kathy. So I think that's what Kyle is upset about. So Garcelle asks why Kyle is not upset with Lisa. And she said, I'm upset that I'm being put in this position. That's not answering the question. Why are you not upset at Lisa? So Kyle goes, well, it spills into our family. So Andy was like, well, y'all are going to be okay. Here go Kathy. Well, I mean, I don't know. Here go Kyle. Why? Tell me why we're not going to be okay. Kathy plays on Kyle's neurotic, overly emotional temperament. And she knows that it will hurt her when she says she's pulling away her affection or her sistership. She knows that. So Andy brings up Farrah's wedding and asks if Kathy is going to be there. She's like, I'm happy for her. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be there. It's a no. Kyle, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm speaking directly to you, Kyle. To save your family, you don't need to work with your sisters. It's not healthy. You're going to let these heifers on this show cause you to have a nervous breakdown. So Kyle asks why Kathy is upset at her. And Kathy said, because you're being a martyr. Like, it's not just you. This is affecting me as well. Well, Kyle does act like it's only her. Kyle, it's not all about you. Okay? This lady has been dragged through the mud for months. And I feel like Kyle always takes on other people's things. She did the same thing with Dorit. Kyle, did you not get enough attention growing up? Please sit back. So Dorit is trying to tell her where Kathy is coming from, and she bites her head off. Don't be mad at Dorit. Be mad at the evil stepsisters across from you. So Kyle is trying to figure out what's going on. Kathy is like, you know, and you know I don't lie. Kyle goes, I know. She said, oh, so you don't know I lie? So I lie? Baby, Kathy is giving mommy dearest, honey. I'm scared. No wire hangers. Baby, this is a fool. Kathy. Kyle, you better say that you know that she doesn't lie, okay? This is the thing for me. This is not the place for y'all to work it out, okay? This is not a family therapy session. Y'all need to get together, take Kim as well, go to therapy, and stay off this show. It isn't healthy for your relationships. Stay away. So they hugged, but something tells me that Kathy is not happy with Kyle at all. So Kyle is like, why are you mad at me? She's like, you haven't said 2 words. So she gets up because she's about to leave. So it's time for the toast, but Kyle's tears are enough liquid for the entire room. So Andy is like, well, let's do this quick because Kyle's a wreck. Okay. Not to be mean to poor Kyle, but baby, these are 2 sisters. They're fighting and they'll figure it out off camera. Because when Garcelle had tears welling up in her eyes, nobody gave a damn. Nobody cared. Kyle is going to be okay. If she cuts off these vindictive heifers, she could have a relationship with her sisters. Okay? But we are not going to fall the hell apart because Kyle is upset. So then Andy goes around asking their closing statements. Then they toast to Dorit's signature drink, but Kyle is still pouting. Andy is hugging her, telling her it's going to be okay. Hugging her like somebody died when people are attacking Garcelle's son. I'm not going to let that go. Okay? We got to go over here and hug her and bring her in close because she's crying. But nobody cared anything about Garcelle. So Kyle runs to the back in tears because now everything's over. Dorit goes behind her to offer her some encouraging words. But Kyle is like, we aren't going to fix it. Based on how she left, I know we're not. So Kyle is crying like a broken child. And my closing statement for this season is, Kyle, this is deeper than Aspen. You and your sisters need to get it together. And that was the end of Reunion Part 3. Child, this is a mess, honey. And I am happy that it's over. Goodbye and good riddance, honey. 6 months Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has been on. 6 whole months, child. This is a fool.